Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 challenge run. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the creature with only cursed items. So the rule here is that we are only going to be allowed to buy cursed items or weapons throughout the entire run. I've seen a few people, and I myself, have done this run with mods using like creature with GMO or similar boosts to the chance to curse things. But as far as I know, no one has done this vanilla with only cursed items, so we're going to give it a go today. I don't know if it's possible, we'll find out. The one exception is I am going to be allowed to keep my starting weapon, since obviously there's no way to curse that. And we're going to use submachine guns because the creature's additional curse will increase the damage that they do, since your weapons scale with a percentage of your curse when you're playing the creature. Submachine gun is an excellent weapon since it fires really fast and gets the maximum benefit from that bonus. Here, I am just going to take 5 harvesting. I could try to buy ranged damage or something, but I'm going to need to reroll a lot to find cursed items. Okay, well this is great. So I'm going to lock the submachine gun, lock the fertilizer, lock the whistle. The question is, because these are all great items and we're going to buy them if they get cursed by our fishhook, I think I'm also going to throw in a $1 reroll here. And another one. I'm looking for a ranged weapon that I can lock because I want to maximize the chances that we find that we get to curse something with our hook. So I think I'll do one more reroll. Wow. Pretty unlikely to roll 3 non-ranged weapons in a row there. But I really want another gun. We obviously can't roll into another SMG because we had one locked in the shop already, but I needed to try to find another gun-type weapon that would benefit, or at least fast-attacking weapon, that would benefit maximally from the creature's bonuses. So hopefully we get a cursed weapon here. Here I'm just going to take 5 luck, I think. And okay, so we got a cursed item. It's not a weapon, but we at least get to buy something, which is great. And the more curse that I have, the better, because it means that we're more likely to be able to roll into powerful items without having to lock them, which is going to be really important. So I'm going to re-roll a couple times. We'll lock the bag, roll again. If I want to try to curse a shredder, I guess I'll lock it for 1 wave. If it doesn't get cursed, I'll try to buy something else. But we're going to need to find cursed weapons pretty quickly. So even though shredder is really not the weapon that we want, I need to get a second weapon very soon because obviously you can't kill things for too long with only 1 weapon, especially when all the enemies on the map are cursed and thus harder to kill. Okay, there's no chance I kill this loot alien, right? Maybe we can get it. Nah. So the whistle didn't work out there. Now here I have to recycle the bat. I'm going to recycle it rather than ban it because I do want lifesteal, so if we find a cursed one, it'll still be good. And then here, I guess I'll take 5% damage. Okay, we got a cursed bag, so I'll buy that. I'm going to unlock the shredder and do a reroll. We'll lock the lumberjack shirt. I will ban the charcoal. Then I'll roll again. I gotta find another weapon is the problem, because I've got all these items locked. The fishhook, of course, has been very poor so far. We've gotten a little unlucky on that. But I need to find another weapon so that I can actually buy another gun, or we won't be able to kill anything. So I think I'm going to re-roll that, and I guess we'll lock pistol. Maybe I should have just left the shredder locked, just so we had 2 weapons locked, because pistol is even worse than shredder as a possible gun. I really want ranged weapons on this character, though, because I think we're going to struggle a lot with our base stats in general. Okay, I'm going to try to kill this lamprey, and we'll make our way around here. We should be able to kill at least one of these trees, but we're... Oh yeah, I should also try to kill the loot aliens, but with only 1 weapon, I think that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to not make that much money this wave. 10 harvesting is a nice bonus. We'll take that. Okay, great. We got a cursed SMG, a cursed fertilizer. I'm going to unlock the pistol here because I think we can do better. Let's reroll. We'll lock an SMG. That's perfect. And then we'll roll. Plant, I'm going to ban. I would much prefer lifesteal with our submachine guns as our weapon. Loot. I could lock the flute, but I think we can do better than that. Cake, probably worth locking. Insanity, probably not, but I'll lock a Ghost Scepter. So I really want to have 4 things locked every single shop. But ideally, I want at least 2 of them to be weapons, and I want those weapons to be ranged weapons. Ghost Scepter could be kind of nice too, because if we get it cursed, it's actually fairly easy to get bonus stats from it, and that'll save us some money. So I'm thinking that I made a mistake unlocking the Shredder earlier, and obviously I'm feeling out the challenge as we go. We're learning how to play it. But if we lose and have to play again, I will probably be more aggressive about picking up or about locking weapons early. Here I could roll for max HP. I could just take the harvesting. I think I'm just going to take the harvesting, and then I'll take 2 armor. Oh, brutal. Okay, well, we'll leave everything locked, but Fishhook missing on 4 28% chances is pretty painful there. We do get the pity bonus now. It's possible even that I should have not locked a couple of the items that we have in favor of trying to get more weapons. I needed to skirt around the pufferfish there, because if we kill the pufferfish, I could be in a lot of trouble. So I'm trying to avoid killing them. Money is not an issue for this character. Let's go ahead and ban Snake, and then I'm going to take 5 attack speed. The reason for this is there's an animation thing with Submachine Gun where the first point of attack speed is extremely valuable. So I think I'm actually going to, now that because I have this Ghost Scepter, we can maybe lock it, or we can maybe curse it. I'm going to unlock the cake here, and I'm going to roll Improved Tools. I'm actually going to lock, because if we get this cursed, it's just going to give me a lot of curse. High-level items are just worth a lot to curse. Plastic Explosive, though, we're going to pass on. Okay, nice. We can buy this medical turret. So now that I have a bunch of curse, I should also think about not locking things. But I think I'm just going to do some rerolls. We'll lock stuff for 1 more round. I'm going to ban items that we really don't want, and we'll lock this laser gun. But the stuff that doesn't get cursed this round, I might pass on now, because I have enough curse that there's a chance I can roll into cursed items naturally, like the medical gun. Or medical turret, rather. I will say it's kind of fun that this is going even as well as it is, given that I think I've kind of misidentified how to play this run and have made a lot of mistakes as a result. And obviously it's a very difficult challenge. So it's fun that we're getting there. We're going to go ahead and ban Scared Sausage, Claw Tree. I think I'm just going to ban it also. The crit chance is fine, but I really want to just ban items that we're not going to use. We'll take 8% damage here. Okay, perfect. So we can pick up the Improved Tools. We can pick up the Laser Gun. I think at this point it's time to pass on the Lumberjack Shirt and Ghost Scepter. So I'm going to do a reroll. And I think I'm going to do another reroll. I'll lock this Submachine Gun. That one definitely worth leaving locked. We'll ban the Dynamite. And then we'll roll. I'm really hoping to find some cursed items, of course. But I'm going to do a few rerolls. And another one. Do I want to lock another Laser Gun? Probably. I should just lock weapons. And let's roll one more time. Okay, these are both great items, so any of those that get cursed we're very happy with. Yeah, I think that's the way to play it more than what I was doing before. I think I want to reroll more often, because I'm not spending all my money, so I should be trying to get value out of that, out of those materials. And then, So I should be trying to reroll more often to find naturally cursed items, because if you get more curse early, then that's obviously going to snowball the character. The more curse we have, the more curse items will show up, and therefore the more items we'll be able to buy, and also the more curse we'll be able to achieve. I do now need to find some max HP because we didn't get the Cursed Ghost Scepter since I gave up on that. Get the tree kill there, and try to pick up as many of these materials as possible as well. Small fish, of course, we have to recycle because it's not cursed. I think I'm going to re-roll here. 8 harvesting would be fine, but I feel like we can do better. I'm going to take 2 ranged damage, even though this character scales its weapons with curse. Laser gun still benefits from ranged damage. The cursed submachine guns scale with higher ranged damage percentage than normal submachine guns. So, come on. Okay, so which of these do I want to leave locked? I guess I'm gonna unlock the laser gun. I really want the level 2 submachine gun. I really want the sharp bullet. Whetstone I think we can pass on, so let's roll there, and we'll roll again. Roll again. Cursed Particle Accelerator, that could be really good. And I'm gonna do a couple more rerolls, and I'll lock a bag again as well. Twice I've had 4 items locked in the shop, and the fishhook hasn't cursed a single one. If we get the Particle Accelerator, that could be really good as well. That's just a powerful weapon. Obviously, submachine gun is the best weapon for a creature by far. It just attacks really fast, other than, like, miniguns and Gatling lasers, stuff like that, chain guns. But of the weapons you're realistically going to get, submachine gun is the best weapon by far. But since we have less control over what weapon we have, it's going to be much more useful to pick up whatever weapons we can get cursed. It was really important to try to get to this point. Okay, so explosive turret, not cursed, so we're recycling it. I'm going to take 9 max HP here. We got the worst possible item cursed, unfortunately. Do I want to unlock and do some rerolls? We've got 28 curse, so that is a 5% chance every time we see a new item that it's cursed, and we have a lot of money. I think I do want to just do some rerolls. Okay, Cursed Revolver, perfect. So we're very happy to have that. We'll keep rolling a bit. I'll lock the lure. A Cursed Lure would be great. And then we'll roll. Cursed Bag, great as well. Roll again, roll again, roll again. Cursed Incendiary Turret, that's totally fine. And then for 33, I'll reroll. I'll lock the laser gun and the revolver, and I'll roll one more time, and then one more time, because I want to lock 4 items again. Okay, so I think I'm starting to get a good feel for how you have to play this, and one thing, too, is that the more curse I have, the better rerolling is, because the more likely we are to find cursed items, of course. But it's going to be hard for us to spend all our money every round. Also, of course, if we get a second or third fishhook and can curse that, that would be the best possible item we could find. Other things that just give us a lot of curse, like Kraken's Eye, would be amazing as well. Yeah, not having the piercing is definitely painful, though. But at least I've got 5 weapons now. I also need to get some healing of some kind. Oh, there was a loot alien there that I wasn't able to get. Corrupted Shard I would love to take, but it's not cursed, so we can't. I'm going to take 2 lifesteal because I need... Okay. Let's try again, and we'll unlock and we'll roll. And we'll roll here, we'll roll again, we'll roll again. Okay, nice. Starting to get some actual cursed items to show up. So we'll buy the Cursed Pearl, Cursed Turret, roll again. Do I want the Cursed Loot? I think not. I think I do need to focus on ranged weapons still. So we'll keep rolling. A cursed spyglass could be good if we get a lot of rerolls, so let's go ahead and lock all of these items. We're still stuck on 5 weapons, so I need to fix that soon, but my rerolls were getting really expensive. Not that locking items actually does anything, since I'm the unluckiest man in the world when it comes to fishhook. But I do think it's better to be doing all these rerolls and looking for naturally cursed items than hoping that we get a particularly powerful item cursed. So that was a bit of a mistake. I went too hard on trying to curse specific items early on. You know, I should listen to my own advice. Usually it is much better to focus on trying to just buy lots of cursed items than trying to buy specific cursed items. We'll take 6 HP here. Okay, the cursed spyglass is nice. So we'll unlock here, and then we'll do a reroll. Yeah, I'll take the medical gun. We'll roll again, and roll again, and again, and again, and again. Cursed fruit basket, that's a lot of healing. And because I have the cursed spyglass, I can reroll a lot more looking for cursed items, which is really good for us. Do I want the fuel tank? It does decrease my ranged damage, but I think I basically have to buy every cursed item. I'll lock this medical gun, I'll lock the reinforced steel, I'll reroll, lock a blunderbuss, reroll. We'll lock a mirror as well, that's another item we can curse. I need to fix my move speed also. I do think this run is pretty doable, just given what we've experienced so far with both mistakes made and I think pretty bad chop luck. So I might die on this wave. This is going to be a really tough wave. We have a horde wave. There's just a lot of enemies. The blobfish are really dangerous as well. I'm going to run up here and pick up some consumable heal, try to stay alive. Yeah, so we're probably dying on this wave just because I don't quite have enough damage to keep myself alive or enough healing to keep myself healthy. Actually, maybe we'll make it out. 5 seconds left. I think we can survive. All right, not bad. Sharp bullet, I wish I could take, but again, it's not cursed. Here, I'm gonna reroll, and I'm looking for lifesteal, but I'll take 9 max HP as well. This is really good. Okay, so I'm going to sell out of the level 1 submachine gun, just because I feel like that's in the spirit of the challenge. And then, which of these items, I could combine my 2 cursed SMGs, and I guess I do that. We'll buy the blunderbuss, and then we'll do a couple more rerolls, looking for cursed items here. Anything cursed? Cursed bat, that's awesome. We needed more lifesteal, so we're very happy with that. The trident we can't benefit from. Let's roll again, and I'll roll again for 30. I'll roll again for 32. I'll lock weird food here and reroll. One problem that I'm having too is that if I reroll too much without finding cursed items, I have to lock kind of mediocre items. So I need to manage my rerolls a little better, maybe. Got the curse alien kill there, which is good. The cursed blunderbuss was a huge find for us, too. That really improves our damage, and especially our ability to clear large groups of enemies, which I was really suffering with no piercing shots or anything. Piercing shots are more difficult for the creature to make use of, because your range is going to decrease a lot, but we have 6 guns, so our range is still fine. I'm going to need some armor as well. Whoops. Did not mean to let the mini-boss spawn there, but we were actually able to kill it pretty quickly and get the extra money from letting it survive, so that worked out fairly well for us. I need to be picking up materials here so that we can reset our blunderbuss. Okay, the Ghost Scepter got cursed. I think that I don't need the medical gun as much anymore, the level 1 medical gun. So let's go ahead and sell that. We'll buy the Ghost Scepter. Then I'm gonna do some rerolls and reroll again. Nice to get a level 2 cursed blunderbuss, because I don't really want multiple blunderbusses, but this lets us upgrade. And then we'll buy the wings there, or the lens there. Cursed decomposing flesh is also a really nice find. And then let's do a reroll. Do I want the level 3 Ghost Scepter? I guess I'll lock this and I'll roll again. Okay, we'll lock the mouse for sure. Gummy Berserker, even if it gets cursed, I don't know that I'm that interested in. I guess I would buy it if it got cursed. And then I'll roll a couple more times just so we can always be locking 4 items. We should have the damage to kill the elite relatively quickly, I think, here. Blunderbuss, especially a level 3 cursed Blunderbuss, is very good against elites. We're actually having trouble just because this is a wave with not that many enemies, and so we're not getting a lot of resets. I also did very poor movement there. Okay, well that was just a bunch of movement errors in a row, but we have the strategy now, so I think we can make this work. Very, very poor movement in that last wave. -6 speed was also pretty bad. I wasn't really paying attention to how bad my movement speed was, so I needed to fix that. But I think we can get it the second time around. Obviously, also, in addition to making better decisions, I think my chops were pretty unlucky overall, and my fishhook luck was abysmal in the last run. So if we do happen to get luckier, then that would be very helpful as well. Let's roll once here, and I'm gonna roll one more time. I'm looking for harvesting, but I guess I'll take a lifesteal. We're gonna need additional healing very quickly. Let's lock the SMG. We'll lock the Gentle Alien. I don't think I want Duct Tape or Jousting Lance locked. I'll lock a Hedgehog as well. For ranged damage. Yeah, I guess that's fine. And then we'll roll, and we'll lock a Shredder. Just important to have 4 items locked in the first chop here. Then whatever gets cursed, assuming something does, we will buy it. Cursed Mantis Shrimp is kind of a tough one to face as well. It just absorbs so much damage. Alright, here I'll take 5 harvesting. Nothing got cursed. I guess we're just going to go to the next wave then. Fishhook sure does hate me specifically, huh? I need to kill the Gobbler here, I think, because we're not going to be able to kill it if it has enough health, or once it eats a bunch of materials. I'm going to try to make sure we kill it here. I'll take a bunch of damage to do that. The Gobbler definitely made that a little more difficult, because I had to focus a bunch of damage on it. Here I'll take an armor. Okay, well, we got 1 item cursed, not the item we wanted, but we'll take it, and then we'll roll, and we'll lock a revolver. At least we have 3 weapons locked now. I don't have enough curse at this point that re-rolling and hoping for cursed items to show up makes sense, so we're going to try to use our fishhook. So the odds of getting 1 item cursed on 8 attempts with a 28% pity bonus are not high. But that is what happened. I'm going to try to kill the Curse Alien there. I don't really need to focus on making money, so I actually should focus on killing the Curse Aliens much more heavily than I have been doing, I think. Take the 10% attack speed. Okay, we got 1 weapon cursed. Is it time to start re-rolling? We have a 2% chance per item. I think it is. We can always lock more weapons later. So we'll do a couple re-rolls. I'll ban Toxic Sludge. I will re-roll again. I will ban the Boiling Water. I'll re-roll again. I will re-roll again. And I think at this point, our rerolls are costing 9. No, I'll do one more here with the full shop open, and then we'll go ahead and ban this. Even with a shredder as one of our weapons, dynamite is just too inefficient to buy, so we're going to ban that. And then I'm going to roll. I'm looking for specifically weapons to lock here. So I'm going to roll a few times, and we'll lock a pistol. We'll roll again. I will roll one more time. And I guess I'll just lock these items. Any of those we would be reasonably happy to buy, even though they aren't weapons. So pretty bad shops there, by the way. But at least we finally got one more item cursed. And have a second weapon, which is pretty important. So I'm going to focus on trying to damage this curse alien, because every point of curse that I get increases our weapon damage. So very important to do that, and we'll kill the tree as well. We'll run over here and try to kill this curse alien. So we got that one. That's not cursed, so we have to recycle it. I will just take 6 max HP and then 2 armor. Okay, I'll take the black belt. That is pretty nice. Increased XP gain matters a lot for this character since we lose XP gain every wave. And then let's do some unlocking and a little bit of re-rolling and hope that with a 4% chance, 3.5% chance, we can find a cursed weapon. Let's do some more re-rolling. All right, we'll lock a shotgun. I'll lock a medical gun. I'll roll again and roll again. And again, I'm trying to find weapons, but I'll lock a small magazine and a fresh meat. Those are both fine. So somehow I've gotten much more unlucky on fishhook procs in this run than even the first run. Oh well. I'm trying to avoid killing the pufferfish, though it can be hard to decide what we're focusing damage on. Or to arrange to focus damage on specific enemies. But with only 2 weapons, my movement is fairly restricted just because of how many enemies we're not killing. I guess I'll take 9 movement speed here. Once again, fishhook has let us down. So let's do some rerolls. Okay, charcoal, I guess I'm buying it just because any curse is so important. And money is kind of free for this character. Let's go ahead and buy the propeller hat. And we'll roll. I'll lock a submachine gun. And I'll roll again. I'll lock another submachine gun. Buy a propeller hat. I guess I'll just ban riposte. This is an item that we're never going to buy. And honestly, I'll lock the icicle. I gotta find weapons. We have a 28% chance of our pity bonus going off. I could reroll 1 item slot, but I guess it's worth just locking the fruit basket here. That wasn't a bad shot for us, other than the fishhook once again embarrassing itself. That was a pretty good shot for us because we got a lot of random cursed items. The other thing about the fishhook not working early, of course, is it just makes the rest of the run you're going to have worse shops because you have lower curse, so you're just getting less value from every subsequent shop. Honestly, the Cursed Shredder has been doing very well. Since we only have 1 weapon, or we only have 2 weapons, so it has to do a lot of the heavy lifting for us. It's not a bad weapon to have, since it at least does AoE damage. I'll go ahead and ban the snowball here. I'm going to take 2 more lifesteal. Finally, we got some cursed items, so fishhook finally redeeming itself a little bit. Let's do some more re-rolling here, and some more, and some more. I'll lock this submachine gun, I'll roll again, I'll lock the whetstone, and I'll roll again. Coupon, I don't care about at all, actually. I should be doing a better job banning stuff as well. This was pretty bad, because I wasn't paying attention to how much money I had left to reroll with. I don't really want either of those items cursed, but this means that I'm not, because I wouldn't buy those weapons anyways. This means that we're not, locking 4 items for the fishhook, though. both hand and spear just attack too slowly, and they're melee weapons. They're going to make our weapon pool much worse, so I don't want to invest in trying to curse them, and I don't want to buy them. But I did kind of forget that we don't have infinite money because we were so far down on weapons there. We just didn't have as much money to work with as we did last game because I'm killing less stuff. But now that I've got 4 weapons, we're in much better shape. Here, I guess I will... I don't really need more harvesting at this point. Let's reroll, and I'm going to take 10% more attack speed. And then I have only 26 max HP, but I think I need the lifesteal more. Alright, fishhook again, letting us down, though I only locked 2 items that time. Nuke launcher is worth keeping locked. That would be very powerful. I'll lock the submachine gun and this submachine gun. We'll go ahead and ban the scared sausage. And weird ghost, yeah, I'm just gonna lock that. These are all items that I would be very happy to buy. We have only a 14% pity bonus, but it is a pity bonus. So we didn't get any stronger this wave, but I think we're strong enough to do fine on wave 9 here. I just need to make sure that we're getting stronger for wave 10. So I'm saving a little bit of money, locking a bunch of weapons, and hoping that we can get at least one of them cursed, assuming that the fishhook ever wants to cooperate. I definitely could have won last run, too, if I just had bought a little bit of move speed and not run into the elite. Here, I'll just take 10% more attack speed. Okay, well, the only one item got cursed, but it was the best one. So now we have a cursed nuke launcher. Let's roll a few times and see if we can get some random cursed items. And we'll do a couple more rerolls. I'll lock a shredder, that's fine. I'm also forgetting to ban stuff. Let's just ban the eye surgery. Just get something out of the pool. And then we'll do some more rerolling. I'm really looking for weapons, so let's roll one more time. We got nothing useful here. I'll roll one more time after that. I'll lock the lemonade, and ball and chain, if it gets cursed, can be okay. No, because we have submachine gun, so we can't use it even cursed. So again, unfortunately, I'm only locking 2 items, so I should have locked stuff before that last reroll. I will say also, I'm definitely making more mistakes this run because you have to, I'm, you know, figuring out how to play the run as we go. But also because I'm on tilt because our fish hooks are giving us so little love. So, it keeps throwing off my plans and then I have to readjust and I'm not doing a great job of that. We did get 420 materials, though. Let's go ahead and recycle that. I'll take more attack speed to go with our cursed nuke launcher. Let's get some positive % damage, and then again, nothing from the fishhook. Only a 14% pity bonus here, but let's do a couple rerolls. Yeah, I'll take a cursed treasure map. That's still fine, and again, we need to buy all the curse we can get. 7% chance of every item getting cursed. Kraken's Eye, I'm gonna lock. This has a bunch of curse inherent to it. So if we get this cursed, then that will boost our power level significantly. I think I'll pass on the spyglass though, and sure, I'll take a slingshot. It's a ranged weapon. It's fine, and I'll reroll a couple more times. We'll lock a whetstone. One more reroll here. Sure, a jerky is fine as well. Just hoping to lock 4 good items, or 4 okay items. I would have preferred if there were more weapons there, but the rerolls were getting pretty expensive. And we're going into an elite fight next wave. I still only have 5 weapons and very low health and healing and everything, so I'm really banking on that Kraken's Eye getting cursed. Not required for us to win, but it would be very, very helpful. Ouch. At least we've got okay healing, because I have some lifesteal and 3 submachine guns, so those will heal you quickly. We do have a cursed treasure map and dropped a couple crates this wave, so maybe we find a cursed item in a box, or at least get some extra money. Well, obviously, a cursed barnacle is one of the best things we could find. Here, I could take 14% speed, I could take 12% damage or 11 crit chance. Let's just take the crit chance upgrade. Finally! Our fishhook putting in some actual work. So we're buying the Kraken's Eye, we're buying the weapon here, we'll buy the whetstone. I'll pass on the jerky and we'll do a reroll. I guess I'll lock another whetstone. Tardigrade is also pretty good to lock. Jelly is also good to lock, and then I'll roll one more time. The spoon we won't buy even if it gets cursed, so we'll pass on that. Alright, it just took one good shot with our fish hooks, and now I'm feeling in much better shape, though I did walk into a bunch of attacks. So I'm going to have to back off, heal up a little bit, then we can focus more damage on the elite. Of course, as the creature, you have very low range, so it can be a little tougher to fight elites than you might think, given the power of the weapon set and everything that we have. Just because the low range and low move speed can be a little dangerous, but that's why we're using a gun build with lots of ranged weapons to offset the range penalty from the character without having to actually spend money or level ups on buying range. And just because they have high base range, so we don't care about the creature's penalty. Nice, got that loot alien kill as well. Let's see. Nothing cursed there, nothing cursed there. That's fine. Here, I'm going to take 4 armor. That's really going to boost our character's survivability. Unfortunately, no luck from Fishhook, but you know what? It cursed 3 good items last wave, so it deserves a wave off. If we get the second Fishhook cursed, so this is one that I am just going to leave locked until it gets cursed, probably. We'll lock the sniper gun, we'll lock the coffee, and we'll roll and roll and roll, roll. I guess Terrified Onion is worth locking as well. Rerolling a bunch with only 1 slot open might seem weird, but our money is essentially free since we can't spend it all. And I just want to make sure that we always have 4 good items locked to maximize the potential chance that Fishhook gives us something useful. Once we get the second Fishhook, we can maybe be a little pickier. Also, we're getting a lot of loot alien spawns, which is pretty nice. That's definitely helping us out. The nuke launcher, of course, is a big part of why we are having any luck with this run, but, you know, this is a run that is always going to require some luck. Okay, we only got the coffee cursed, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave the fishhook locked. It's just so good if we get it cursed. And Retrimation's hoodie, we have no dodge. We can't really use that. The shredder and the submachine gun. So let's roll a couple more times just to see if we get a random cursed item. And we did. We got Bean Teacher, Claw Tree. Do I want the hiking pole? This could actually give us a bunch of range. So yeah, let's sell the level 1, the not cursed weapon. And then we'll do a couple more rerolls. I'll lock these 2 items. And I guess I'll save my money with 44. We'll just lock 4 things here. So the Cursed Hiking Pole can actually be pretty good for the creature, because it doesn't take that much running around to get some range, so it can offset the penalty that the character comes with naturally. We will probably sell out of it as soon as we get another good weapon, but basically we will have gotten a little bit of curse and a few points of permanent range. A little bit of temporary curse while we have the weapon, and a few points of permanent range whenever we sell it. Killing that loot alien, and there we go. I wish I could take that, but it's not cursed, so we're not allowed. And then here, let's take 19% damage. Okay, we'll take the reinforced steel. I guess I'm gonna keep the fishhook locked. Lock Sift's relic, that's a good enough item. We'll lock the shredder. No, I'm gonna roll again, actually, a couple more times. Okay, we got a naturally cursed nuclear launcher. Amazing. And then we'll throw in another reroll here, and I guess I'll just lock the saltwater. At this point now, I actually do need a bunch of money, because the nuke launcher is really expensive, so we're going to need the money to buy that. I also want to make sure I'm always moving at least a little bit, because we have the hiking pole, so I need to make sure that I'm not standing still if I want to be getting value off of that as much as possible. Though, it's also what I'm going to sell for the nuclear launcher. Got that curse alien kill there, which is great. Get that blobfish. And kill another curse alien. Just making sure to keep boosting my curse as much as possible, so that my submachine guns do as much damage as possible here. We have to recycle these, tragically. I mean, not tragic in the case of the white flag, but those other items I would have liked. I could reroll for other stats. Let's just take 24 luck here, and then I could actually potentially build dodge. We have a cursed barnacle, so we get way more stats from leveling up, and that's a good way to build dodge. But let's just take 19% damage. My percent damage is really low. Okay, great. This is perfect. So we can recycle that. We got everything cursed. We can buy the nuke launcher. We can buy the fishhook. I'll do a reroll here. We'll lock a shredder, and I'll reroll again, and we'll lock a fin. And now we have double cursed fishhook. This also was a pretty good fishhook, 36%. It's on the higher end. So now we're much more likely to get cursed items. Getting reasonable income every wave, though that doesn't matter that much. Yeah, I need more armor, I need a little more max HP. There are so many cursed enemies on the field, and cursed pufferfish and stuff like that are really dangerous, so you still need to focus on defensive stats on this character quite a bit. But if I get a little more armor and maximum health, then we'll be in very good shape. If we get the fin cursed as well, that'll fix my movement speed and give us a bunch of lifesteal, so that will be very helpful also. Okay, great. So which of these items do I want right away? I can buy 2 of them as long as one of them isn't the Sift's relic, or I could buy just Sift's relic. So let's go ahead and I want to lock more items and try to curse them. So let's go ahead and we'll sell out of the slingshot. I think it's just our weakest weapon overall. It doesn't play that well with our other weapons. So we'll sell out a slingshot, we'll buy the shredder upgrade, and then I'll buy Finn, and that gives me a bunch of lifesteal, and then I can re-roll a couple times, and we'll try to lock other items. The pistol, level 1 pistol, even if it gets cursed, we won't buy it, so we'll just go to the next wave here. This is good too because we have the shredders and nuclear launchers to clear big groups of enemies, and then our submachine guns do enough damage per shot and shoot fast enough we can kill elites with them, and then also they're good with the large amount of lifesteal that we've now managed to collect. We have, I think, 17-18%, something like that, so our lifesteal is enough healing for us. I am leaving a lot of materials on the ground because I haven't bought the Sith Relic, but we'll definitely just buy that this next wave. I wanted to make sure I was buying 2 items so we had a chance to lock 2 new items for the fishhook, although we didn't end up rolling into 2 items that we wanted to lock. Trying to make sure I kill that curse alien before the end of the wave there as well. Here, I am getting dodge from the Sith's Relic as well, but let's just take 4 ranged damage. We'll buy the Relic, we'll buy the Saltwater, and then I have exactly enough to reroll. That's pretty nice. So let's lock 2 items here. We're not buying either of these, even though Anchor scales with our curse damage, so it does do a lot of damage. I really just want to focus on ranged, fast-attacking weapons. So we're giving up a little fishhook value in the end game here, but that's totally fine. I did forget to check how much range I got off the hiking pole. It probably wasn't that much. We ended up selling it fairly quickly after buying it, but I think it was still worth it. It just gave us a little bit of extra value and also gave us extra curse in the short term. One challenge I do have is on waves where there aren't elites. Our weapons are killing everything in 1 or 2 shots, so we're not lifestealing as much as we would like. So I maybe should invest in a little bit of regeneration, assuming that I can get it in some reasonable way. But once we're in the boss wave, we'll be able to just lifesteal off them. We have to recycle Gobbler's Hat, because it's not cursed. Recycle, recycle. And then here, let's take more attack speed. I want to kill the bosses as fast as possible. Buy the 2 cursed items, and then we'll do some rerolls. Yeah, Cursed Lemonade is actually perfect. That gives us a lot of relatively reliable healing. And then the fishhook going into wave 19 is not going to be useful. I'll lock the Shredder. We can maybe use that. I'll lock the Broken Mouth, and I'll roll 1 more time. Okay, we'll take a coffee as well. Unfortunately, the Vigilante Ring won't do anything, because we're going into the last wave here, but let's do wave 19. The Cursed Coffee is a really nice find. Of course, it means we're not getting value out of our fish hooks, but we're just getting a really powerful item that gives us a lot of stats that we care about a lot. More attack speed will make us much safer against the bosses, because we're going to kill them so much faster. And although attack speed doesn't scale that well with our submachine guns, other than the first point of attack speed, it scales incredibly with our nuclear launchers. I will say Shredder is one of the weapons that, despite being a very weak weapon naturally, it curses very well, because you get more piercing, you get more damage, and so on. So it gives you just a lot of boosts when you actually do curse a Shredder. Here, I've got 20 lifesteal. I think we can do better than that. Let's just take 4 regen. I think that actually is going to make us the safest. Let's buy the coffee. Broken Mouth we can't buy. I am going to just sell out of the level 1 shredder, I suppose, to get the level 2 shredder here, and then we'll re-roll, and we're just re-rolling until we see cursed items. I'm going to buy the whistle, even though we don't really care about the loot aliens showing up, although if one does, it can be a nice heal for us with the consumable drop. But mostly it's +2 curse, which is just a little bit of extra damage on all our weapons, and there's only so many things we're allowed to buy. This nuclear launcher would have been better, but we couldn't have afforded it anyways, and yeah, I can't recycle anything. The corrupted shard is nice, that's just some % damage and some base damage, and then we'll re-roll one more time just for fun, and then go to wave 20. Alright, here is the whale boss. I'm going to try to kill it first. It's the more dangerous of the two. I also need to not tank infinite damage like that. Alright, took one extra hit there, but we've killed the whale boss, and so now dodging is a lot easier because its more dangerous attack patterns are off the field. So even though I have relatively low range and stuff, we were able to kill the snake boss very reliably, or very safely. Alright, well that was really fun. So we were able to win with only cursed items on the creature, even despite missing many times on Fishhook in the first couple shops. I actually think that this run is very doable now that they've added the pity bonus for Fishhook. You don't need to get that lucky in order to win this run. So I recommend it as a challenge run. It does restrict what you can buy quite a bit, but it is a fun one for trying to make do with what actually does show up. Taking a look at our items here, we got a bunch of cursed items. Obviously, we ended with 172 curse. Getting an early XP gain item in the form of this black belt was massive. The creature loses XP gain every wave, but we ended with positive experience gain because we got the black belt and the bean teacher, and so that let us level a lot, which gave us extra curse, as well as a ton of stats, which are hard to come by otherwise on this character. These double propeller hats were really nice as well. The charcoal didn't do anything, of course, except boost our curse, but that's very important. Treasure map only gave us 4 items, and I think we recycled all of them, but that's fine. Barnacle was amazing. Getting the Kraken's Eye curse was a real turning point. Plus 14 curse, plus 18 max HP, incredible for the character, and was a big part of why we were able to do well. And other than that, that's mostly what we were able to focus on this run. I was very happy with our weapon set. I think the shredders were fine. Finding the early nuclear launcher was great. So definitely try this one yourself. Let me know how it goes. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed this challenge run, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.